Page 11. I only have a couple more, and I do apologize for keeping you guys over an hour. So, one moment. Page 11, you'll see it says wash, laundry equipment, and it has an A and except a 1 or 2. Okay? So, start from the beginning. Currently, there are 6 laundry rooms at the property. There are 32, 38 times 18, 36. 36. There are 36. There are 36 machines here at the property in 6 laundry rooms. The association owns all of those machines. We also collect quarters for all of those machines. And we maintain those machines ourselves. The board of directors is going to look into voting to move away from the machines that we own, literally take those machines and remove them from the property, and in place, a company is going to come in who owns their own machines. Those new machines are going to be placed in the laundry rooms. And in essence, instead of quarters, to pay for laundry, you're going to have everybody's going to get a card. The card is going to have starting $10 on it for every person. It's going to be difficult for renters because the renter's going to have to come and pick them up. But every unit gets a card, and the card all has $10 on it. And when you need to add money, you simply go online, charge the card, or you can come. We're going to try and set up for my office. You can set it up on my office, okay? But the idea is that the association is an association. We are a nonprofit. We are not in the business of laundry service. And the board has found that we want to better the property, and the best way to do that is to not have machines that are constantly down and need to be repaired and need to be addressed, and we need to pay for that money and everything like that. We want to have an outside third vendor who owns the machine use our space. And will prices go up? Possibly. We're still talking about it. Possibly dryers will go to $2. Possibly dryers will go to $1.75. Okay. Possibly. We're still talking about this. Still talking about it. But that is the only price change. Yes. But outside of that, you won't have quarters anymore. You're going to have a call. If the machines go down, let me know. 2 days, the machine's back up. In the contract. It's part of the contract. Now, what does this cost us? When they collect the money per month, they get 75. No, we get 75% of it. They get 25%. It's a 7-year contract. So one vendor is a 7-year contract. Another vendor is an 8-year contract. Those were the 2 best quotes. The 7-year vendor, for 7 years, we get 75. They get 25. For the 8-year contract, the first year we get 100. They get nothing. Then I believe it's 70? Yeah, 70. So then they get 70. Oh, sorry, we get 70. I keep doing that. We get 70% and they get 30%. Okay? That's the difference. We no longer have any liability on why are the washers and dryers not fixed? Well, they have to be fixed. They're required to be fixed. If a washer and dryer goes down more than 3 times in a month, it gets replaced. Okay? This allows us to do more stuff with the building. Instead of Steve spending his whole day running around getting a timing belt or a coin machine or something like that, now I can try and have him clean the, pressure wash the hallway, or paint walls, or paint the laundry room. Something, this frees him up. This allows us to no longer have any liability towards those machines, and now we don't have to wait for parts, because this company specifically does that kind of maintenance so that they come within 48 hours and they make repairs and they come out. And it's a constant feed. And we get a document showing how much they've collected. And they give specific amounts of cost and payments on what day and how much they total collected and how much is theirs and how much we received. And the money gets automatically zapped into our account. So this way we automatically know about it and our accountants know about it. Okay? Does anybody have any questions on the laundry? Frank? Yes, sir.
My first question would be, how much points are we currently generating? I know you said we're not a revenue producing entity.
Yes.
That we would look to use that money to update the property. So what is the revenue coming from specifically, and what is the cost of it?
So I can tell you this, we take in about 25 to 3,000 a month, depending, 2,500 to 3,000 a month in quarters for laundry, but like I just paid $400 for a time. I paid $400 for 2 times for a tiny building, and I had to pay for 2 of them. The dryers in Devon need some kind of no. I'm trying to explain to you like cost. So like we're trying to make repairs to some of the dryers and washers as they happen, but the cost for the parts alone are like so substantial. Like I think he said I was quoted at $2,500 for just the spinner for a dryer. And then it would still take like 3 weeks to get. But I'm trying to explain to you. And then if a dryer or washer is not available to, like, if it's dead, if it needs to be replaced, a new commercial washing machine I think is $6,500, and a dryer is I think $7,500. And again, those are the small dryers. The larger dryers, the gas ones. No, I'm not pro or I'm not pro, and I'm not against. I'm trying to give everybody a firm detail. We're not in the money-making business. But there was some money being made every year, but it depends on how much things broke down. Because you're figuring that you'll get at the best $36,000 in laundry things, but you're paying 28,000, right? I would say you would get 10 to 12,000 in laundry, in laundry revenue. Would be
that's fine.
Yeah.
So what's the idea with that 10 grand?
So that 10 grand is actually so when you look at your budget, right, you'll see additional revenues, right? And that 10 grand actually comes out, so you have a zero cost budget. So if you're spending $200,000, right, you're collecting $200,000. But if you're collecting $10,000 in laundry revenue, then you're actually only collecting from the homeowners $190,000.
Yeah.
Okay? That additional $10,000 is calculated into the figure. And I can show you that on the budget if you come up to my office. But some things like say late fees and payments, some of those things are not calculated in specifically because they're not guaranteed. Like you can guarantee that there's going to be $10,000 to $12,000 for laundry, but you can't guarantee that there's going to be like $3,000 for leaf. Okay. Anyway, other questions, Robert, and then I'll go to Valerie.
Put together Robert Bakery. I don't want to keep calling. Sorry, and he gave to that next door. you think just as you're putting in the order, the water's going, right? Look inside the washroom.
Yeah.
Look, you're going like this, right? And it's kind of going to extend.
Yeah, they don't.
They're not going to work in after time. Yeah, here's the very good one. You don't get no expenditures come up at all. We get brand new machines. And, they're clean, they're brand new.
I know, Milton.
It also improves property value. Somebody walks in and wants to buy it. They go in the library, they go, they've got old machines. That's not good. So they walk in brand new machines, where everything looks great and functioning, it's not hard to. Well, guess what? That helps us for our retail. That's all.
I'm just so tired of losing money in the machine.
Well, that too. So there you go.
Everybody said that money on the second floor and the third floor.
Okay, so guys, I want to make sure everybody's included. So hold on. So, with regards to the chat, if there's repairs done to wood, a lot of times they replace it with wood. Sometimes they go into, there's a special kind of, there's a special kind of beam that they do use that's not, actually no, they use wood, but it's wood that is treated with a special kind of chemical, so that kills the termites. So yeah, and I do apologize. We're going to tell people in the crowd to be a little bit to be a little louder. But yes, heat treating is a possibility. But again, it's only for certain areas that are no bigger than say 15 feet. And if they do repairs, they do repairs with wood. But the wood is treated with a special kind of chemical that kills termites if they go through the wood. I will speak, Mr. Bowie, on parking in just a minute. Any other, Valerie, and then while Valerie's talking, page 12 talks about the system for the payments from one vendor. But more than likely, if you go to page 13 is the vendor we're probably going to go with because they have the better cost. So page 13, 14, and 15, and I'm going to put it on your screen in a minute. Page 13 and 14 and 15, they go into the details of commercial laundry, and commercial laundry is looks to be the better contract, simply because there's better out on the contract. Because again, it is 8 years, but after 8 years it renews again, and their window for renewal is so tight that that is where they usually get you. But I got that figured out. Valerie, and then. So the contracts usually say 7 years, and you can cancel the contract on the last year within 9 months of renewal. So you literally can't even do it. You literally can't even do it on the last year. You have to wait for like 3 months or 9 months, depending on the contract, to do it. And everybody forgets it because it's 7 years down the road. I actually like to, if I can, like literally a month into their contract, give them the cancellation for 7 years down the road because because now it's canceled, but it's 7 years down the road. Yeah,
Yeah, and one more thing, I know there are people that have their own washers and dryers on our property. What's going to happen?
So the company comes in, they're not going to do anything about the washers and dryers. That's going to be something that the association has to deal with. And I believe we're going to deal with them on a case-by-case basis because you're really not supposed to have washers and dryers in the unit. And I don't know if anybody knows this or is aware of this yet, but tell your friends, when there's a modification done to the interior of a unit or the exterior of a unit, if it involves any part of the common area, I'm going to ask questions about it. I'm going to ask you to fill out a form. And I'm going to ask your vendor questions. And if it involves a washer or dryer, I'm going to say, I'm sorry, that's not allowed.
Common pipes.
Yeah, common pipes, common drain, no drainage, no room for it. The electrical isn't necessarily there all the time. Those kinds of things. So I'm, as your manager, I'm going to be enforcing modifications now. Not necessarily to the point where nobody can do stuff, but just so that people have to let me know that they're doing stuff and what they're doing, and I'm going to let the board know. and I'm gonna show the board, hey, this is what they're doing. It's the same thing with, as the gentleman said before, when he has renters, he has a rental agency who brings in the renters and they do the background check, and now, guess what? So do we. And so do we check on these people, and we check their finances, and we check their backgrounds, and we even talk to them. Ask Robert. We sit down and talk to them, and we just get to know them, ask questions, have them ask questions. This is the new way of doing things. This is like I said, all informed, all in everybody's community, right? And everybody's being informed. But again, the Valerie's question, interior unit modification, that modify common area, and with the washer and dryer, you have drainage, you have electrical, you have venting, right? All that stuff is a problem, right?
What's been done is kind of fun.
So that's the thing. What's been done is kind of done, and a lot of times there's nothing we really can do about it. But when you go to sell your unit, right? So usually how it works is, it's been done. We're not going to bother you about it because you've had it in there and you've had it in there for a while, and it's been like that. But when you go to sell your unit, right? We're going to say, guess what? We'd like to inspect your unit. And when we inspect your unit, yeah. And when we do, we're going to say, hey, here's an illegal modification. We're going to ask this to be changed back, right? And that may change your sale, because if you're selling with a washer and dryer, that may go. Now, again, it's an association, it's a community. So if we find that there's no issue, right, and it's not harming somebody, the board may, right, give a stipulation or give an exemption. But again, if you ask me the rules, right, the rules are, it's an illegal modification. When you do sell your unit, we can ask for a unit inspection. If we do, we can inform the new buyer there is an illegal modification to it and it has to be moved back to normal, right?
Yeah, I mean, but there's been a lot of modifications.
Oh, no,
They will
and that's the thing.
selectively enforce that,
Yeah.
right? So for instance, yeah, so don't worry
Most
about,
likely no. Most likely no.
yeah,
Sometimes we will just keep it as is, right? But again, that's not up to me, right? That's up to the board of directors. That's up to what we want to enforce, what we don't want to enforce. It's like the pet policy. Right now, technically, we're not supposed to have pets on the policy, right? But some of the dogs are so damn cute. How do you say no to them, you know? And so, okay. But you know what I'm saying? Also, they've been on the property for so long, you can't say no, right? So it's something that the board has to take into consideration. They need to speak to attorneys about it. They need to see if it's fiscally, and here's something you're going to hear a lot of, fiscally responsible to take this under consideration, okay? Because if it's something where we want to do away with all these modifications, but it's going to cost us this much money, it's your money too, and that money could go to something else, painting, termite tenting, or something else. That's what we're doing. Informative, open, honest. Okay?
And just like,
Yeah, but if you have a strong management company, right, then you shouldn't have this to begin with, because you shouldn't have these kind of modifications, right? If you have the
probably sure that most people haven't had strong management.
yeah, I mean, you know, yeah. So for a lot of things, yes, you do. For a lot of things, yes, you do. Venting. I get this. Okay, wait. Because I'm going to lose everybody. So any other questions on, yes. No, this is not involved with special assessment. Monday. Yeah, they're going to have a vote for it on Monday. If it's approved on Monday, we will sign the board. So if the board approves it on Monday, we'll have contracts signed by Tuesday, Wednesday. We will probably have a staging day. So you figure by the 15th of August, There'll be notices put up where